Your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money.
Get ready, we're live in 10.
First of all, let me tell you about the business. Mr. Gerald D. Rogers, he the one that had it.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're live.
Yeah. I sit with 2 million families, shifting their perspective mentally and financially. How many of y'all like being broke? Never mind. Y'all know that's my favorite part of that song, because the answer is none of y'all. None of y'all like being broke. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Bridging the Gap, Hidden in Plain Sight, Opening Eyes. Welcome, 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 fam. Welcome to everyone. Thank you, Rejoice 904. Thank you, Spot, wherever you're listening to us on Facebook, on YouTube. Welcome, 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 family. We are so excited about the topic that we have today, about the empowerment that is going to be given to you today, and you're going to run with it. I am Licia Monet, everyone's favorite TV, radio personality, empowerment influencer. They call me all over the world the Wealth Connector. Why? Cha-ching, ching, make it make sense. That's what I do. So I am so excited, and I am a part of the BYOB movement, the largest economic empowerment movement in the history of mankind. And we are economically impacting and educating over 2 million families. I got to say that again, over 2 million families. Do you know how amazing that is? So you are welcome, welcome, welcome to this amazing topic that we have today. The topic is kingdom building. So before we go ahead and get everything rocking and rolling, I want to let the rest of the squad, the rest of the movement, the important people who are shifting legacies, lifestyles, and pockets, go ahead and introduce themselves. Before we get this thing started, we'll go ahead and touch some bases.
What's up, you guys? My name is Genesis Pat, and I'm one of the educators on the BYOB platform. Where you're normally used to hearing me from is in the space where we go over market structure. We take a little bit deeper dive into the strategy, into the skill set. And what I really love is when we get into spaces like this, we start covering the mindset, because trading is so much more than just the candlesticks and the news. It's all about that mindset, because sometimes that's all you got. And then here in these spaces, we get to talk about those wealth principles that really drive us, and get to understanding money. That way we're not just making it or letting it use us. We're taking ourselves away from being the tool and then using it as a tool so we can empower ourselves, impact our communities, and empower other folks, you guys. So I really look forward to joining this conversation that we're going to have today. I really appreciate everybody in attendance, and let's get into it.
Well, hello. Surprise, it's me, Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy, and ladies and gentlemen, the co-founder of the Be Your Own Bank movement and Kingdom Currency. So yes, we're talking kingdom today. So guess what? We're going to talk kingdom currency. We have our own currency. You could be your own bank. I'm not going to redo the song, but no matter where you're listening from, no matter where you're chiming in from, what I want to happen, what I need for you to do is share. So let me officially say hello, Rejoice at 904. Yes, hello. How are you doing? Also, for those of you who are on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you're listening in from, I need you to make sure that you get somebody to chime in. I need you to make sure that you definitely connect. You make sure that you plug in, share this on your social media, share, because the information today and yesterday and tomorrow, whatever we're talking about, it is so powerful, and you want to make sure that you do not miss out. Looking forward to this dialogue, having a great time here with you all today. So once again, Tasha M. Dyer, I'm here. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna empower you, and that's what you want to be, is empowered, because we do know empowered people empower people.
And I put that on math. That is basic math, actually. That is math, Miss Tasha M. Dyer. Listen, family, these amazing individuals, you really need to pay attention when they speak, because when I say they have 100% of the information, they have really big heartbeats, and they are positioning themselves in a winning position every single day. winning position, and what do people in the winning position do who love to empower people? They want to set you up in the winning position as well. That's just how it works. So that math, empower people, that is an actual mathematical equation. That's what we're going to put that in math. We're going to start teaching that at schools, right? That's what I'm talking about. So just in general, so you know how to get in contact with us, because after we share this information, this kingdom empowerment, this kingdom building, after we share this information, you're going to want to do what everyone else is doing right now. Join the movement. How do I get enrolled? How do I contact? How do I purchase? What do I need to do to be a part of a movement that is having such a tremendous impact all over the world for families and generations to come? It's quite easy. We have our BYOB movement app. Yes, BYOB movement app. Go ahead and go to your app store, download it, and what you do is get exclusive access to what? Yes, our BYOB radio, BYOB merch, our BYOB trainings, our live profit calls, our live training calls. It just keeps getting more gooder and gooder. And yes, I did say that. Yes, I did. As well, there's a link to that amazing kingdom currency that she was just speaking about. What is kingdom currency? Well, it's a token with a purpose, a socially conscious token with a purpose. And then guess what? Once you get that token with a purpose, you are going to be impacting, as well as yourself, other people. How are you going to be impacted? Because you're going to be pouring and giving back to the 4 pillars of the community. What are those pillars? I'm speaking the veterans. Thank you for your service. I'm speaking about ministries and nonprofits. I'm speaking about affordable housing, aka green energy, and education. That's HBCUs. Those are so important and really are the web of the community. So listen, it's time for you to get your house in order. It's time to you empower the kingdom, build upon the kingdom, and live your life on your own terms. So once again, you get exclusive access to some BYOB radio too. So everything is there. Go ahead and reach us at BeYourOwnBankMovement.com. Why? Because we have our own website. Yes, BeYourOwnBankMovement.com in the song. That's what he said. BeYourOwnBankMovement.com. So I'm so excited, family. And then that kingdom currency.exchange. Get back with us, and then we're going to go ahead and empower you today, and we're going to show you life how you've never seen it before. So once again, our topic today is kingdom empowerment. And I really love this topic because it has 2 of my favorite words in it. Kingdom, that's royal right there. That speaks volumes already. And then empowerment. Once again, that's the heartbeat of this movement, empowerment. And like she said, empowered people do what? They empower people. What is empowerment? It feels so great when you can help someone else who thought they were hopeless, who thought they didn't have another chance, who are counted out. And then those people who are looking for opportunities, it's all here within the BYOB movement. So I'm so excited. So once again, we're speaking about kingdom empowerment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the floor for anyone who is ready to go ahead and jump on this topic, because you already heard me talk a lot. So I'm going to back up and pump my brakes a little bit. Let's get this ball rolling. I'm so excited today.
Why
you know, they say, go ahead.
No, I just said, why you want to pump your brakes? No, go ahead.
Well, I want to go ahead and try to get mine in, because you know they say they save the best for last. All right, so I gotta go ahead and drop some sauce on there before I get blown out the water by the trade whisperer herself. You know what I mean? And when we talk about kingdom empowerment, this is something that's really near and dear to my heart, because you know part of what we have in our kingdom currency is ministry and finance. You know, we're really big on that as well. Between all the leaders that you see across the board, you know, it is our concern and our initiative to make sure that there are specific sectors that, you know, we are committed to helping, right? And it goes beyond just, you know, we talk about the strategy all the time, you guys, and it's literally putting people in a position to profit, right? And we're talking having access to ministry. Who else are looking for those opportunities to really expand and have that money, that abundance in finance, right? Where else better to get that from a team that is about kingdom business, you guys? I can't express to you I couldn't put it into words. Like, it wouldn't fit in this little time space I have to tell you guys my testimony and the things that I've seen and confirmed since my journey with BYOB. Like I've said it so many times, I came here to trade currency and I had no idea that I was in the position to change my life, because along the way, I was challenged in such a manner to where I really had one of those moments to where you fall to your knees and you really start asking God. It's like, man, I know, Father, that there's this abundance that you've promised us. What is it that I'm missing? What clarity is it that I need? And what direction is it I'm supposed to be going? And every single step of the way, you guys, it's pointed towards BYOB. It's behind the people that have supported me along this way, to the way that I've grown inside of this journey, to the steps that I'm taking in life. You guys, I literally came here just to trade, and I ended up changing my whole life. And you guys, that wouldn't have been possible if the Lord's hand wasn't in this movement. I'm telling you guys, from the calls that we have, the conversations that we have, like I said, even into my personal life, things that are confirmed on a daily basis, you guys, it's just been amazing that not only am I in a space that I get to learn a skill set, but now not only do I get to have time to address my spiritual relationship and my growth, because I'm not sitting here serving money as my master, I can have the time to really not only grow in the Lord, but also be able to listen. I'm not sitting here all day on a hectic tower site around a bunch of people who really ain't speaking nothing godly, I promise you. Not to say those conversations didn't happen out there, but everybody's hot, mixing in emotions. We're trying to get stuff done, frustrations, and the ways of people. Your work environment isn't always the healthiest for your spirit. Especially depending on the people you work around. You go into these environments, you got atheists, you got all type of people that believe whatever. You know what I mean? And now I'm in such a space to where I really get to address my journey directly. And you guys, like I said, you'd have to sit down and we're gonna have to have a personal conference for me to really get down on my whole testimony and how I've seen God move in my life these past 2 years, and really just to watch him operate in the physical, to really put him to the test has been a whole nother amazing journey in its own, to be real with you. And you guys, if we're not out here charging no extra money for this access to the education and the skill set, we do all these calls for free, maintain that YouTube channel for free, you guys. Everybody in your congregations, they have access to this. That nobody needs to save up some money and get to at YZ point to start jumping on the calls and start understanding, be a part of the conversation. Everybody can benefit this is a ministry in its own, where we are literally trying to impact the kingdom, because it's those kingdom those people with those kingdom principles the most that we want to get to, because it's those finances that in turn go back into his business. Then we can really make such of an impact. We start changing these lives and all. And I'm not going to take up any more time. I'm going to let Miss Dyer drop this free game that she's going to provide to us.
I love it. I definitely just, I kind of want to echo what was just said. I definitely want to be able to kind of really just dive in on that, because I do want you all to understand something, So yes, do we coach, mentor, pay it forward? Do we do all of those things? Absolutely. But I do want to emphasize that this is an educational program, and you have to take ownership of that. So yes, do we provide extra resources and different things to facilitate your success? Absolutely. But you do have to make a commitment and an investment into yourself, into your financial future, and it's going to be worth it. But what we do know is that when you're empowered, you empower. And when I see everything that's happening in the world, right? When I see all of the things that's actually taking place, when I see everything that's transforming, everything that's going on, why is it that our voice and our commitment is not the loudest, And to me, that's so ultimately important, because if I pour into you and I empower you, then guess what? Then you're going to go help someone else. And just Mr. Patton being on this call as an educator, as someone who is willing to pay it forward. When I hear Genesis Patton speak, when I hear him educate, when I hear him teach, let me share with you the power. And then I'm gonna just talk to you about why what we do is important. So first, let me get to Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy 8:18. But remember the Lord your God, who gives you the ability to produce wealth and confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors. So let's take it there first. So I need you first to remove any negative connotation in your mind. I need you to remove anything that you think that I cannot serve God and be wealthy. I need you to remove anything in your heart that somebody told you in your past that you didn't deserve this, or you wasn't worthy, or this just doesn't happen for us. I need you to remove anything that says I can't do this, or it's not for me. I'm telling you, the scripture, the word of God says that he gives us the ability, on top of the fact that, right, on top of the fact that he gave us dominion over everything. So if we have dominion, which means everything, and think of agriculture is what it was back then, and we named the animals. Not only did we had dominion, we got to name them. We had that much power and control. And I really want you to understand how much authority you have. And I'm asking you, are you walking in your authority? So what Mr. Patton just laid out and what he mentioned is the fact that we want to pay it forward. We're serving. Jesus served, but they still had to want. He served, but they had to make a decision to walk with him. They had to make a decision, but he still served. And so when you serve, that's where you get the most impact. And that's all we're doing, is we're serving. We're operating in kingdom principles. We're doing what God called us to do. And when I said I want to use him as an example, just think about this, for a moment. The gentleman that you're hearing from on this call right now is very, very committed to your success. Behind the scenes, from the calls, he spends countless hours going through, analyzing, strategizing, reviewing the calls, reviewing the commentary to ensure that you're receiving what he's teaching, to ensure that you are actually going to receive what's being put out there. But yet, last May, he was on the other side. Last May is when he made his decision. You see, he got enrolled and he was working. He made a decision, but last May is when he made the commitment to himself and he began to operate in that kingdom principle. He began to operate in the understanding that, you know what, this is for me. I deserve this. I am worthy. And ta-da, a year later, guess what? And when we talked, the only thing I told him, I didn't know that his desire at that moment was going to want to be an educator. I didn't know at that moment he was going to want to make the commitment to do the calls that he does. I didn't know that. I told him, I said, all I want you to do is pay it forward. Whenever we met, I just want you to pay it forward. Help someone else when you get it. And the same thing, your wealth connector. I just want you to pay it forward. Help someone else. Because she might not be on a platform educated, but she is empowering. She is definitely speaking. And when you get to Clubhouse, when you on Clubhouse, you at an expo, you on this radio broadcast, who is there? She shows up. She doesn't miss a beat. And that's the same thing for all of the educators and the people conducting expos. And guess what? More people have stepped up. More people have stepped up and say, you know what? I want it in my area. As a matter of fact, there's a young lady in the Netherlands right now that just came and talking to her this morning. I want an expo. I want to be a change agent. I want to be an empowerment. I want to influence. I want to serve, And guess what? It's contagious. It's contagious to see and get the testimonies. So this is kingdom business that we're doing. This is kingdom empowerment, which is why we actually now have a token with a purpose. Because not only do we want for people to be able to take advantage of things in this crypto space and this evolution of currency, we also want this token to have impact. We want this token to not only serve your wallet, but to serve your community. Yes, so kingdom currency is a token with a purpose, and that just speaks to the heartbeat of who we have always been and why this movement was started.
Now, I'm gonna come for you before we move forward just a little bit.
You gonna come for me?
No, I'm not for you, Mr. I'm coming for the people inside of these strategies, because as believers, now is going to be at a time where you're gonna have to walk on that faith that you preach. You know, all those times, those troubled waters where Jesus gives the example that we should rest in the storm. It's really that time to where, you know, do you believe in what is his promises or not? You know, it's a simple question. Now, you may have to answer this question for however long you feel like delaying your blessing. You know what I mean? But one day, if you choose to have this journey, that's what we're doing here. You know, when I started out in currency, I really had no idea that like the level of where I was going to be at today. Like God honest truth, and to see the way it's grown in each step. Like when I was asking the Lord to come into my life and give me direction and show me things and give me clarity, and then doors keep opening one after the other. You know, a light bulb comes after a light bulb. You know, the success follows itself in the testimony. You know, it's that time. You know, if whatever you believe, how many more days is it worth to you to keep on denying your Father and what He's told you? You know, you don't have to be scared of money. If you were supposed to be scared of money, if money was the most evil thing in the world, it would have been mentioned so many times in the Bible. Clearly, it can be utilized as a tool. The word just says, don't let you be the tool that it utilizes. All right. So what we're doing here is getting on the other side of that. We're not only going to impact ourselves, we're going to impact our entire community. We're really going to build the kingdom off of this. You know, how are you going to pay your tithes? How are you ever going to increase your offerings? You know, those are two different things. You know what I mean? Are the blessings that the Lord has provided you only worth your tithe? You know, is there never a point where you want to offer more than just that? Is there some other ministry that you've been inspired to lead? You know, maybe this is the tool and ask to get to that point in place, you know, where we're not asking for loans and having to crowd fund and doing this and that. No, we can be that direct impact. We can be that vessel that overflows, and we just be blessed by the way. I'm telling you guys, it's a lot simpler than some people think. Just listen. It's why the Lord bless you with 2 ears and 1 mouth.
2 ears and 1 mouth. So powerful.
I want to share something too, coming from someone whose background was not really, I won't say religious, but really didn't have a relationship with God. When I came to Christ, I fell in love. And one thing that I saw, okay, let me back up. I always knew I was going to be wealthy ever since I was little. I've always known it, just didn't know how, right? And so, you know, when I started going to ministries, I started seeing the same pattern, and it bothered me so much that, you know, a lot of people is broke, and that bothered me because I'm like, well, this what happened when you go to church? I don't want to go. Like, you got to get broke. But it's really,
you got to get broke.
You got to get broke, but it's really you have to have God break that mindset that you have about wealth, about your capabilities through Christ, just like what Genesis says about walking in faith. The time is now to do this. And this is one thing I love about the movement. Like, the heartbeat of this movement is walking. Basically, they're water walkers. That's what I call Mr. Rogers on the side. I'm like, this man walking on water, like walking in that faith. And then look what happened. And because of that, so many people are impacted. And it's something I wanted to, you know, point out, just as Miss Dyer, the trade whisperer, was saying that people all over the world are getting impacted. What does that mean? This movement walks in excellence. We are not perfect, but we strive to be perfected you should strive to be perfected every day, but we strive for excellence. And then what happens in that excellence is we duplicate excellence. We duplicate expectations of being consistent, expectations of walking in wealth, expectations of being timely, expectations of empowering other people. So this is the heartbeat. This is the blueprint that we have. So this is why this movement is purposely about kingdom building, because you cannot, if you don't have a strong foundation, everything crumbles. Everything. Build a house missing some of the materials, missing some of the ingredients of how I don't build houses, but build a house missing some of those the small details, the small things that make a big difference, and it'll crumble. It won't last. And so when it comes to kingdom building, your structure has to be firm. It has to be, first of all, God focused, right? God centered. And that's what this movement is. As well, just something I wanted to point out. I was on I was on what's that thing called? Instagram today, and I want to show how important this shifting people's mindset is in reference to kingdom building. There was a young man, I saw who worked for Burger King for 27 years. I saw it on Instagram. He worked for Burger King for 27 years. Go look it up. And I want to tell you how humble and happy he was real quick. He worked for Burger King for 27 years, and they gave him a goodie bag for working for 27 years. And he was so humble. He wasn't sad. So yes, thank you. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But what happened was people saw that and they went and set up a GoFundMe account for this young man. And now it's over $200,000 in this GoFundMe account. And I'm scrolling through the comments and people like, he's a burger flipper. He's not going to do nothing with it. People like, I hope he invested. Oh, that's all he is. He's going to mess up the money. And people count people out. And it's time for man, do you know how many self-made millionaires and billionaires, or well, I said self-made, then I already said it. They're self-made, right? Not only by themselves, but a lot of them came exactly where we came from. But people who don't have God and people who do have God, they still walk in faith to achieve their dreams. They still walk in faith to achieve their passions, their goals and desires. So that's something I wanted to point out. I will not work for no Burger King or no place for I think I'm
gonna jump in there because you hit two things. Because I mean, all of us say, "Oh no, that would not be me." And a matter of fact, somebody in the chat says that they saw that as well.
Right.
And I know because it's like, wait, what? So it's two things in what you said that I want to pull out of it. You know, it's one when you talked about churches and being broken, that broke mindset. So when you think about it, like for one, that's why our voice has to be the loudest, because you can have wealth and we have to understand that we have to operate in the principles of God. You know, we cannot just say, oh, my God's a healer and believe that he'll heal my body because y'all excuse the that, but we believe that he'll heal our bodies. And we believe that, and we'll pull everybody together. You know, everybody's praying and we'll call these prayer circles and everybody is praying because I need a healing, you know. But what about the financial healing that you need? What about, you know, the other woes or the mindset healing? You know, we're supposed to be transformed in our mind. You know, we're supposed to, you know, really begin to connect and spend time in the word to where we will really truly understand these things. And so why does a shift not happen? Because people are not being empowered. Because some leaders are not sharing with us and showing us that we can have these things. Because when I see that, why might he have been happy and humbled? What was his background? What if he had been homeless? What if that was consistency and he's kept a roof over his head for all that time? And so what happens is our backgrounds produce limitations in our belief. You know, our backgrounds, our circumstances produce limitations. So we get complacent and we get content. And so this is another reason why our voice has to be the loudest, because at no point should where you come from dictate where you're going. Should no point where you came from make you believe that you've achieved enough and that's it, right? So nothing. That should never be the case, and that should never happen. We should always be striving for greatness and striving for more. And so it's important for you to connect. And just to kind of go back to that, one of the young ladies that I'm coaching and mentoring, when we were on a call last week, you know, and one of the things she said is, you know, it came a point in my life that I wanted more, but I didn't know where to go. And she talked about the people in her circle and that they didn't know where to go either. She said, I wanted to invest. I wanted to, you know, I had heard about crypto. I wanted to purchase. I had heard about, you know, the opportunities to make money, but I didn't know anybody to contact. So this is why we have to be so vocal. This is why we have to, because people are looking, people are searching, people want more. But sometimes if everybody in your circle, everybody in your sphere of influence, everybody you're connected to, because remember, like attracts like, like attracts like. We hang with, you know, people, we get comfortable with the people who are not going to challenge us to do more. So we get very comfortable in those circles. And so she had no idea. So when she began to get a hunger, she didn't know where to go. And it wasn't until she was introduced to this movement that she began to believe that she could do more and believe that she could have more and believe that there was more out there for her, because she would see it on TV, but it wasn't real to her. She desired it, but it wasn't real to her because nobody in her circle was manifesting anything like that. So now everything is shifted. Now things have changed. Now, and she's grateful for that, because, you know, we get so hesitant sometimes. I don't want to talk to anybody. You know, I don't want to tell nobody what I'm doing. I don't, no. Not why. People are looking for you. People are looking for change. And that's what this movement is all about. And when we speak loudest, when our voice is louder, then all that crazy stuff we see in the world on the news and the TV for people looking for economic healing, they're doing those things because they don't know where to go, and they don't know that they deserve better, because they've accepted the reality of the limitations of their circumstances because of their belief.
Bars. Go ahead, Jen. You about to speak? Go ahead.
Yeah, already. Because it's in these things, like we said something powerful earlier about being water walkers. You know what I mean? That's a call to action in that term. We're not talking. I don't need you to be Jesus and walking on water and be perfect, nothing like that. But you know, Jesus had a call to action when he was talking to Peter. You know, to pull him out of that boat. Peter had to literally get up.
You better examine.
Deep. Get up out there and walk on that water. It was a call to action. All right.
Oh, so he had to get up, is what you're saying. He had to get up.
Yeah, he had to get up. I'm just not getting up out there. I'm walking right here on the screen. All right. But it was a call to action, you know, and it was in that faith that Peter walked out of that boat, that got out of that boat and walked on water. Now we're given examples because we, like in the Bible, because, you know, this is what wisdom is. Gain knowledge from others' learned experiences, right? Or some other, you know, whatever way you want to verbiage that, you know. But it's from learning other people's experiences, you know. And we have the greatest example of all time. You know, Peter had Jesus right there in front of his face, and he still got distracted and was looking around and started sinking, you know. And now here we are, thousands of years later, and you know, we still have people that fall short, victim to the same bad habit. You know, we lose that focus on the kingdom. You know what I mean? If nothing else, that's the most powerful thing I could say. It's kept me anchored in this whole journey. He's keeping my eyes focused on that. I was like, Lord, I know you promised me this. I know you blessed me with this vision. And there's reasons why it keeps me awake. There's reasons why I can't stop thinking. There's reason why doors are open. There's reasons why I've had conversations that I've had that have just been in line with the things that I've prayed, the things that you've exposed me to. All of this, you guys, that I got distracted. I forgot what I was talking about now. I didn't.
No, you wait. I know you see it. Don't get lost. Don't lose focus.
Well, we're talking about just operating that faith, being in those conversations. Like we're literally keeping our eyes focused on that promise that's been given to us. You know, a lot of people, they love that verse, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believed in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. But in whatever chat you got, what does John 3:17 say? Ooh, man. Because a lot of people are walking around here in condemnation. You know, Jesus didn't come to convict, to condemn you. I know conviction and condemnation are completely two different things. You know what I mean? Jesus did not come to condemn you. You know, if you're living in some space where you think you don't deserve, or, you know, you'll never be able to work hard enough, or you're paying for something, or this, that, and the third, you know, you're not living it. You need to go back in that New Testament and see what the word says about that and how you should be living. You know, it's in this arena we get to test these principles. You know what I mean? We get to press the word of God in this, you know, and I can speak to this because it's my testimony, you guys. The world that I was working in before, you know, while I leaned on the Lord a lot, you know, he definitely got me through a lot of long days on the tower, that's for sure. It's in my home and in my workspace where it's silent, where I'm unbothered. There's moments of clarity, even in moments of clarity when I've got kids running everywhere, dogs, wife asking, mother, friends, all that. It's in so many moments that, I have the space more clearly, because especially not only because of where I'm at physically, but because where I'm at spiritually. When I accepted to walk in my purpose, not even knowing what the end of the journey would look like, but to walk in that purpose, and the Lord put his hands on that, that's an even more satisfying feeling to really commit in that, Now, I'm not telling you the Lord's telling everybody to quit their jobs or nothing, that I believe that's why.
Hear from the Lord first. Please hear from the Lord
Right.
first.
Don't move on that first, but I do believe that there's a reason I've prayed and asked the Lord to make me a vessel that overflows. I'm just walking in that purpose until doors start shutting on me. You know what I mean? Until then, he just moving on up. And I'll see you guys in the upper room.
It's you do have to hear, and that faith is so when you think about like really being able to be dependent on God and trust him for everything, that is where you'll get your true identity. And so my walk, when I really, really, really made that step and that leap of faith is when I really began truly walking with God. So you said something, when you think about people or you think about things or you think about, and we say we believe in God, we say we trust him, we say these things, but it's when you make that total commitment, because there is more than just, it's so much more than just like, oh yeah, I believe. So I feel like people treat God like I'm gonna do it, but people treat God like Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and all of those people and Prince, because I had something to do when Prince passed. I don't remember the day, but the gentleman that was supposed to come out, like, because I can't even remember, but it was an event or some sort. And the gentleman that was supposed to do something, he said he couldn't make it. And I'm saying, is everything okay? Because he sounded really, really sad. And then say you can't make it. And he was just like, yeah, Prince died today. Now, see, this is how I found out he died. But he was like, Prince died. And I said, Prince, you knew him? You like Prince? He was like, yeah, I know, but I'm not. And so I feel like that's how people treat God, or that's how they really have relationships with God, because they treat God like that, but you have no relationship. So it has impact on you. You do believe, like, but you don't truly get all the benefits. Because I'm sitting here like, is you going to get some of that inheritance? He going to cut you a check? Like, what was your relationship with him? Or you just going to keep listening to the music? So you don't get the rewards and the benefit, but yet you get a good feeling from his music. You get a good feeling from like, you get a good feeling, but what are you getting? Nothing, because you're not operating in those principles because you have no relationship. And that's how people treat God. And so when you're really able to walk with him and understand it, because for me, here I am. And when it was time for me to leave the military, and I promise you I was on track. I'm on track. I'm locked and loaded, career on track, lieutenant colonel in the wind. Like I had it, orders in hand to go to school, setting me up, everything. And I remember exactly where I was sitting and what I was doing. And he told me it was time to go. I said, excuse me? I was like, excuse me, because I didn't hear you right. I didn't hear you correctly. And I'm saying, do you know how hard, and I'm really having a conversation out loud. Like somebody walked by and they thought I was crazy, but I'm having this conversation because I was in the office and I'm waiting on my attorney to call me, because I was actually, that's when I started having the thyroids and all this stuff. But that's when I was actually going back. And so when he said, so I'm in there in the back and somebody walked by, like, who are you talking to? That's not your business right now. But he said, it's time to go. It's time to let it go. And I said, do you know how hard I worked to get here? Do you know what I put in to get here? And God said, he told me I would be successful at it, but his hand wasn't going to be on it. But he told me what he had for me was bigger than that. He told me what I have for you is bigger than this. And he told me he was going to bless the overflow. And so That's all I kept holding on to. So you know how hard it was. I'm being honest and transparent. It was so hard to pick up that phone when the attorney called and say, you know what, we don't have to do it. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out. It's my time. I'm gonna just go. That was the hardest conversation I have had, but it was true commitment and honor and obedience to God. And when I look at what's happening and I look at how he laid things out, now trust me, along this journey, it hasn't always been like this, right? Along this journey, but imagine, would we have a token? Would we have the world's first socially conscious token had I not been obedient? Had I not, because I would still be very successful for my definition of success in the military as an officer. I would probably be on somebody's deployment, leading commands, had made lieutenant colonel, on my way to full bird, doing all of those things. That's where I would be. And people told me I was crazy. They're like, you getting out? Are you crazy? Have you seen your records? Have you this, have you that? It made absolutely no sense for me to walk away. None. But it was obedience is why I did. And so now we're here. And when he said it's greater, and I look at what's transpiring, what's happening, it's just like all you could say is my God. But had I been focused on the obstacles along the journey, because it was one time I was crying, I said, God, this ain't overflow, this underflow, right? So had I been focused on that, where would we be? Where would we be? And when I see the impact and the stories and the just everything that's happening, it just wows me. And I know that this movement is kingdom.
I know about that underflow, Miss Dyer. When I joined this movement, I was not single at the time, and I had a boy. I guess I don't like the term boyfriend, but we'll call it boyfriend. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to go back to work. Me and him left. We used to work in corporate America a few years ago, and I said, I'm never going back to work. I'm not going to work a job. I know God does not want me to go clock in at someone's job. And he told me, that's stupid. That's stupid. I'm a grown man. How would that sound? I said, I know how it sounds, but I know what I heard. Now, do I have some ups and downs? Do I feel like I be in underflow land? Sometimes I know that you have to go through these things, and it's for other people. Our testimony is not just for us, it's for other people. And I truly understand that it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. So when there are times when I just don't feel like doing stuff, and there's times when I've screamed in the car. There's times when I looked at God like, bro,
feelings don't matter.
Right. But then I have mentors and coaches and people who pour into me that say feelings don't matter, like she just did. And they don't understand, well, hopefully they understand how much that has impacted me, because I've never had that. So I thought, as Genesis thought, that I was getting in just to learn a skill set, just to make some money. I didn't know I was going to be a wealth connector. I didn't know that this was going to open up doors, because I listened and got rid of him too. But because I listened.
Sometimes you got to shake it all, shake it all.
I listened that I was going to be globally known on the television, on radio, producing shows. I never knew that. If I would have held on to that, you're right, I'm gonna just go back to work and not be obedient, because it does say that disobedience is like witchcraft. Ain't no witchcrafting over here. And I had to, even though sometimes that's like walking on water, because that doesn't mean you're not going to have pressure points. That doesn't mean that it always feels good. But I know for sure that I'm going to help millions of people, and because of that, that's what keeps me going. And then I've never seen people trust God. And I want y'all to hear that. I've never seen people trust God until walk in the thing, give the word and then walk the word that they say. They speak to the things. I've never seen that in my life. And I've been going to church for a few years. That's the issue with me. But anyways, I've never seen that. And because of that, that is something that shifted my perspective and helped me grow in God. And now, before, I've never say nothing when the situation comes. Now I can, man, I'm pulling out Bible verses. I'm like, well, the word says, and so
speak to that thing.
Right, but I've never seen that. So that is my testimony to what I should be seeing all the time. I have not. And we have the ability to shift that, because a lot of people do not walk in faith because they're walking in lack.
Do you know, I see Mr. Genesis Patton, right? Our blue collar baller want to jump in, but do you know, I just have to say it, I got to put it out there, that I still have a specific family member that still call me and say, that BYOB thing ain't working, you ain't got no job yet. And I'm like, when the last time I called you and asked you for something at all? Like, is it working? I still think that you should have a regular job, because this cannot be your main income. You can do it. I see it makes you happy, but you should still have a job. I'm like, I love you. Goodbye. I love you. We gotta go.
I think I hit like, you know what I mean? I got both my fingers up there. I'm not being inappropriate. I was like, just give him that one. Ah. What I wanted to jump in and say was we really get to be those change agents, like Miss Monet was saying earlier, with Miss Dyer was commenting that we have our new team member in the Netherlands. It gets to vocalize that, be that change agent. We get to be the change in the kingdom, right? Because we are here impacting and empowering. If you on this call, just because you don't come back on or whatever, don't mean we gonna stop. We're gonna keep on trucking, and you can just tune back in whenever the Lord so convicts you to do so. Because we are on this mission to be that change. We are going to find those people that hear this and that want to make those impact. Like there's people that the Lord is sending us to, that He's bringing our way to hear these messages, to really grasp these concepts the same way I was brought to this platform. No matter where you're at in life, we are never so far from the Lord that we can't call upon His name and then ask Him for clarity in these situations. Like, Lord, what is it that you're really trying to do with me here in this season? You guys, we don't have to just tolerate and sit by and watch the church empty its halls and people dwindle and questions because they're confused. This can be that empowerment that really makes people reconsider those things that we've been already blessed with ahead of time. You guys, this is the opportunity to gain a skill set to really challenge the words like, all right, Lord, I'm stepping out on faith. I know you've got something for me. And I've heard this so many times that surely that you're bringing this across my ears. And you guys don't carpe diem. All right. If it's like we said in the clubhouse before, if you don't know, you don't know. You can't speak on things that you aren't aware of. But once you have been made aware, is this one of those things that's been pulling on you that like it's been just running back to your mind? Like you just be sitting there chilling some days, and then like you just have that thought. What is it that keeps bringing? Like you keep tuning in for a reason. You know what I mean? It's like all you guys that get to altar call it on Sunday, y'all just keep on standing there like just dancing with everybody, and the altar's right there wide open for you. Every Sunday. Don't mean how long you've been saved. The altar's there open for you. You guys just keep on sitting there standing. This is that call to action. All right. We want you guys in the field with us. We want you guys on these calls, being impacted. It's like we said in the beginning, empowered people empower people. We want to affect you so much that you can't help but go tell people. Because that's kind of what happened with me, to be real with you. Like it was just I had this vision that I was going to be helping like my peers in my circle, and what I had no idea was that the actual circle that I envisioned was just so much larger. You guys, I'm telling you, when you walk out of the whole big old circle, you guys, I'm telling you, you have no idea what the Lord has in store for you if you don't go out there and find out. And before this call, you weren't really aware but we really put that message in your ear this week that, you know, this may be that time. You know, don't worry, we'll come back next week and we'll let that be the word too. And then the week after that, we're going to do the same thing, you know, until you feel so convicted to really do something for yourself. We're not sitting here asking for any extra money for any podcast or any trainings or nothing like that. We're out here doing this stuff for free, you guys, because it is our mission to make sure that we can impact as many people as we can. We don't need the distraction of that monetary distraction. Oh, how much does it cost to be in your class, or whatever you guys are out there justifying your excuses with. We literally got this stuff out here for free for anybody that's disciplined enough or so incentivized to pick it up and jump into the strategy. And that stands for when you reach out to us as well. There's no extra charge, no nothing. We're here because we're on principle. We're here for kingdom business. We're literally out there. Now, hey, if you want to drop them in my cash app, hey, bless the church, all right? But that's not what we're here.
Collection plate.
Yeah, right. We don't have everybody around. But that's literally not what we're here to do, you guys. We're just here to encourage you, for one, to operate in that demo account. We said that in a minute. If you needed that to be a reminder, to operate in that demo account until you operate in such consistency and efficiency that you can really jump in the water and begin to swim, because you've tried, you've tested with reasonable, responsible advice. And now that you understand the skill set and how price action is moving through the market, you can just go on in your own initiative and take advantage of that. And that's what we're here for, you guys, showing you how to be your own bank.
So I'm listening and I love it, because this is ultimately what this is all about. And to see the impact and the influence, because when our Wealth Connector just said that she never saw anybody truly trust God and operate and walk in those principles, that's concerning, you know, but this is why our voice is so loud. This is why we're always here, because do you see that when that it's contagious. So when it happened, what happened? Now she's operating in those principles. Now she's implementing those things in her life. And you think God ain't gonna bless us when other people, because we're supposed to create disciples. And so then even at our expos, 2 of the testimonies that came from our expos that we just had this past weekend, you know, so we're about kingdom business, okay? We're about empowering people. And 2 of the testimonies, one of the young men literally, you know, was just like, he had been going through some things. I'm not going to put his business on the air, but it's very traumatic and significant. But what he said is he found himself in tears the other night because this movement has impacted him just that much. And it's actually given him hope, because where he was, you know, and what had transpired, it just seemed so gloomy all around him, but it gave him hope. It's giving him a belief that he's going to be okay. And, you know, that I was like, oh my gosh, you know, that's the impact that's happening within, you know, people around the world. And so then even in the Jacksonville Expo, a young lady had a trip that had been, you know, planned and scheduled before she even knew about BYOB. She canceled it. She did not go to be with us, because she knew what she had been trying to accomplish in her life, and God said, you need to be there. And so she showed up, and it was everything that she had been looking for and everything she wanted to be able to implement to give her the empowerment that's required in order to, you know, because she's about kingdom business, and that's required to pay it forward. So I get excited about that. So before we close out though, because we got a few minutes left, what I want to talk about, and where I kind of want to transition just a little bit, it's really not a transition, is we always have a solution. You cannot just have empowerment, but not a solution. And so the solution is kingdom currency. The solution is learning his skill set. The solution is empowering yourself, right? Because you want to purchase the tokens. So we're talking community. We're talking service. We're talking empowerment. Are you aware that what this does? Are you aware what kingdom currency does? Are you aware? But we're going to also reward you, because, you know, that's what we do. That's what we do. So do you want that 4 nights in Vegas, right? You have to go to kingdomcurrency.exchange and get some tokens But at the same time, there's a referral. So you can earn tokens. You can earn tokens by sharing that with someone else, helping someone else get free, helping someone else with this evolution of currency, helping someone else. And then you can also, like I said, you can empower that and just go on and on and on. So I want to talk about why this is so important. But, before I ask you guys why kingdom currency, why you believe it's so important, why you believe everyone needs this token with a purpose, I just truly want you to understand, because I know, so I'm going to address it right now. The economy is the economy is the economy. The economy is the economy is the economy. Whether you have a dollar or whether you have a crypto, whether you have a credit card or whether you have a crypto or whether you have a pound, the economy is the economy, and everybody's feeling it right now. The only difference, cryptocurrency is in the price. The dollar is in the cost of goods and services. So if you complaining at the gas tank, you better get you some crypto. Because what I do know, get you some kingdom currency. Let me be very, very, very specific. What I do know is that your job is still paying you $10 to $15 an hour. Your job is still paying you $20 an hour. Your job, it did not adjust for inflation or the market. So when you complaining about how much eggs cost now, how much gas costs, if you complain a little bit, then you need you need to do something different. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's time for you to do something different, because if your dollar doesn't go where you want it to, it's time to do something different. So don't frown your face. And at some point, what did you call it? Call to action. You say you got to get out of the boat. Isn't that what he said? It's time for you to get out of the boat. It's time for you to do something different. It's time for you to walk it out on purpose. It's time for you to do something other than complain. Because complaining, it doesn't do anything. And at some point, you're going to get so tired of sitting on that nail and just sitting there and spinning. At some point, that thing has got to get I can't imagine just sitting on a nail like, at some point, I'm going to want to get up and do something different. But some people have got comfortable being uncomfortable. It's just time to change. And you're very welcome. I see the chat. So we thank you all for your transparency and sharing your hearts, along with showing us proper application of the word and faith. We love you, and you are very welcome.
That's what we do. That's what we do. I love it. I love it. Genesis, did you have anything before we close?
Oh no, it's like you said, that's what we do. Glory be to God. You know what I mean? I'm never going to take any credit for it, because without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Without him, I wouldn't have these words that I'm saying to you. To be honest, if y'all want to look at my notepad for today, it's blank. This has all been, this comes from the heart, and my heart's aligned. So, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We really look forward to engaging in further conversations. This is a journey. This is not a short trip. When we're talking about currency exchange, and especially when we're talking about your faith walk, right? This is a long, long journey. Had people out here talking about YOLO, boy, I tell you, you'd be YOLOing for 64 years. I said that so many times. All right. And I just appreciate that in this season in your life, you're really tapping in with us. And I'm just honored to be living out in my purpose and what God's called me to do. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. So I'm gonna let her close it out like she do, but I'm gonna tell you once again, I'm gonna just put this out there: kingdomcurrency.exchange, a token with a purpose. So just think about it. Every time you purchase, you are supporting HBCUs. Round of applause. What, drum roll? Which one is it? So you're supporting HBCUs. You are supporting your ministries. You are supporting, right? You're supporting veterans. You see that right there? Veterans. So, and you're also supporting that affordable housing, green space initiative, solars. So we're just here to serve. We're just here to give back. And what I love is we actually incorporated this into the launch of the token. So when I say we're the first, we are the first globally conscious token. That is what we are. So you definitely want to get your token, kingdomcurrency.exchange. Kingdomcurrency.exchange. And you can get the book. And when you get the book, leave us a review on Amazon. I'm going to just put that out there. All right, Wealth Connector, it's yours.
Well, we are about to go, family. This is about to conclude, but I do want to say, I know that you're ready to make that shift, ready to make that change, ready to purchase that kingdom currency, ready to learn this skill set from amazing, phenomenal people like educators like Genesis. And of course, you just heard the trade whisperer, the woman who made the strategy that is empowering people all over the world, Netherlands, UK, Jacksonville, Florida, and a plethora all around the world. Let me just stop, all around the world globally. But listen, connect with us. You connect with us. We're not YOLOing over here. We're bringing everyone and we're taking it by force. So once again, family, beyourownbankmovement.com. Get the app. Today is Tuesday in BYOB land, and today is a day we have an amazing training call tonight. Every night, every Monday through Thursday, we have calls empowering people to live life on their own terms. So make sure you connect with us so you can go ahead and get on that call tonight to be empowered. We love you. We're excited. Join the movement. Join the movement. Join the movement. Join the movement. And did I say join the movement? So we love you. Have an awesome, amazing, fantabulous day. And that call is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we love you, family. Check in, plug in, live life on your own terms, and let's go ahead and empower the kingdom together. All right, we love you guys.